Fonseka soon out of SJB chairmanship. SJB to lay a trap for a SLPP MP. Campaign to inform public on how JVP deceived the country. Heated exchange between GL, Rajitha and Madama Bandara.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Fonseka soon out of SJB chairmanship. As political camping, decamping and all other sorts of things are taking place for the presidential polls, news from the SJB looks no good. It seems Sajith Premadasa has decided to sack Field Marshal Sarath Fonseka as the party's chairman very soon. He has been under pressure from the party to remove Fonseka, who criticises the party and its leadership out in the open. He looked indifferent to such calls until he heard that Fonseka has had secret talks with President Ranil Wickremesinghe at Dianagamagai's home. Fearing Fonseka will join the government any time now, seniors and younger MPs have urged their leader to expel him before that happens. When others try to keep their camps together, Sajith seems to lose his men. Those who were behind forming the party and making him its leader are no longer with him. SJB to lay a trap for a SLPP MP. At the same time, Sajith accepts people from opposing camps. On the 16th, Gamini Thilakasiri and Gamini Silva joined the SJB. The former is an ex-MP, Western Province Minister and SLFP organiser for Homagama, who worked with Chandrika to topple the UMP government in 1994. The other one is former chairman of Kesbewa Urban Council and councillor. Sajith attended a public meeting at Thilakasiri's home where he stressed that his party was without family or deal politics. The opposition leader highlighted that any agreement he signs is on the basis of serving the people only and not on any promise of privileges. He added that the support extended to him by the two ex-SLFP members will be a strength in his journey for the public. The Leader TV reported about a month ago that the SJB is planning to accept Thilakasiri, with Niroshan Paduka playing the mediator role. He first took the duo to GL Paris, where discussions turned out to be positive. Then GL directed them to Lakshman Fonseka, who himself took them to Sajith. The SJB leader entrusted the onward work to SM Marikar, who did the needful with the result of their joining the SJB. Fonseka is now busy with laying a trap for a SLPP MP. Some analysts says that when other presidential candidates strike deals with parties, Sajith lures individuals. By doing so, he lost the goodwill of the Freedom People's Congress and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Some find him politically immature, but analysts say it is not his fault, but that he gets wrong advice. Recently in Gali, Sajith told councillors elected on the UMP ticket in 2018, who now support him, that he does not need advice from anyone and that anyone who disagrees with him is free to leave. Here, he introduced Nalaka Godahewa as his economic advisor. Some in the SJB fear for Sajith's fate by around April. He is politically immature, short-sighted, and is with a personality that is not suited for politics, they say. Campaign to inform public on how JVP deceived the country. Ranil's news planter in Washington, D.C., Asoka Jayatunga, has the following headlines in his President's E-column this time. Ranil gets $500 million in Australia. Ranil becomes a Lenin in Anuradhapura. Single game to take on students and farmers. Communist preaching by Ranil. Country to be told about JVP's deception. Mahinda in US now into tourism. America's message to Mithri. Then he starts the column by referring to the warning by Anuradhapura farmers to Ranil over the drinking water project there. They seem to have forgotten how the Kelaniya University students got shamed by the cunning fox. They demanded waters of Mahakanadara tank for farming and noted waters of Moragahakanda can be given for the project. Despite their warning, the cunning fox went to their den, opened the project and gave them small talk. Their jeering lasted just a few minutes after he promised them to make it official if they reach agreement with water supply and irrigation authorities. While speaking there, he referred to 3 things Lenin said before the revolution. During lunchtime at the president's house in Anuradhapura, State Minister Shehan Semasinghe inquired from him about that. The cunning fox did some communist preaching. After the revolution, Lenin promised peace for the country, land for farmers and food for the people, he said. To everyone's laughter, Duminda Disanayake said the same happened during the 2022 Aragalaya, where the president provided peace, land, food, as well as fuel and gas to the people. He said nothing when Shehan remarked that he followed Lenin more than those who idolise him. During his Australia visit, Ranil met heads of state and powerful ministers. What he discussed during his meeting with the Indian external minister about AKD's Indian tour was not made public. Is it due to Ranil's faith in AKD's politics or confidentiality of diplomatic secrets? Then, Jayatunga comes to the topic of utmost interest, Ranil's preparations for the presidential polls. Pro-Ranil lobbyists like Nimal Lanza are worried by the UNP's silence. They are concerned about their own future too, if that is not resolved anytime soon. Lanza and Nalin Fernando met the president and raised it. On the following day, he summoned the UNP Management Committee and gave duties for Wajira, Navin, Ravi K, Harin, Akila and others. National organiser Sagala was tasked with the UNP's digitalisation, while Akila has to build movements in universities. Ravi K will coordinate an alliance with other parties. Ranil told Ravi K to get people from the SJB and all other parties. The management committee will plan a social media campaign, while Harin is given the task of organising the May Day rally. He also advised that meetings be held in Kuliapatia in March, followed by another in April. Wajira said a campaign office has already been finalised at Flower Road. Ravi K said several offices will be found from around Colombo for the formation of the alliance. They agreed to a proposal by Wajira to tell the people how the JVP has been deceiving the country, destroying the economy, and how they allied with every government since its inception. The cunning fox referred to speculation that he is plotting to postpone the presidential polls. Why should the presidential election be postponed? 2 opposition parties are afraid of the election. One party is a little ahead and plays fake media games by linking me. Set those aside and speak how to build the country, he said. May 3, together with Sajin Vas, is journeying the US after visiting India. The US asked him if the SLFP appears for the Online Safety Act, Anti-Terrorism Act, Democracy and Human Rights. That is how Jayatunga brings out Ranil's political line. It seems he is entering the game after restoring peace in the UNP. Heated exchange between GL, Rajitha and Madhuma Bandara. The National Movement for Social Justice organised a dialogue on the 12th about a new electoral system. Karu, Chandrika, GL, Ranjith Madhuma Bandara, Anura Yapa, Rajitha, Sudarshani, Azath Sali, Fauzi, Mahinda Deshapriya, and many others were in attendance. Here, GL alleged a political conspiracy over the talk for the abolition of the executive presidency. Rajitha countered him, claiming the people do not want elections now, but they demand a strong economy. Politicians should act accordingly, he said. Madhuma Bandara spoke against Rajitha, who maintained his stand stubbornly. He said the preferential voting system should be replaced by a mixed system that is in line with democracy. Then, youths, the educated and professionals who love the country can enter Parliament, he said. Madhuma Bandara questioned the talk about a new electoral system with a presidential election at hand. Rajitha ridiculed those who questioned the abolition of the executive presidency and accused them of being dishonest. There is nothing honest in politics. Instead, things are done for gains according to the situation, which may bring good to society. Social well-being is a side result, political analyst Chintana Dharmadasa had posted online. April is yet to come, but the seasonal lighting already appears occasionally. As we have been saying all the time, the best player wins the game. That's it for today.